Welcome to Mixtape Monday. It is Monday, July 15th. I just had a session with Rick Paul, my good friend. We do Vibe with the Tribe bright and early here on the East Coast. Monday morning liftoff, everybody. And then we had a big chat about spiritual businesses and all kinds of crazy stuff. So both of us have a lot of cool things in the hopper. So Rick has some interesting sessions of classes that are coming up. So keep an eye on his channel. If you're not subscribed to him already, please be sure to go over and subscribe. I'll have a link in the description below. I have launched the first of my digital classes. It's a Lenormand class. I will have a link there as well if you guys would like to jump on. I do have a discount happening right now, so the class is at a discounted rate. You can go check it out. It's basically a summer school learning. You know, I want people to be able to jump poolside and be able to watch this really quickly, get a sense of how to use the cards. Lenormand is a much faster to learn system than tarot. There's a lot less that goes into it. I always read Lenormand cards upright. I don't do reversals. I don't know anybody that does, quite frankly. They are playing card based. So even if you forget your deck at home, you can always use a playing card deck and still do a quick and dirty reading for your friends. So as requested, I have taken away the flashy bits of the static screen behind, and I apologize for that because I did not intend for them to be flashing. So that was a surprise for me. As always, I still have my 20% off sale going on for the summer. So if you'd like to get your own magical reading, you can book one below. And I am going to be back in full force. Everybody has their wisdom teeth out. Everybody's in recovery and doing better. Those of you that are new to my channel, I had 2 kids, both had to get their wisdom teeth out, and we did them 2 weeks apart. So the doctor recommended I not do them at the same time, and I think that was a good call on his part. So so it's Mixtape Monday. There's a lot to talk about. We had the whole President Trump situation over the weekend. I'm going to do that in a separate video. We're going to talk about that. Was very upsetting to all of us. That was, you know, the first time we've had something like that happen in 40 years. So things are afoot. So we're not going to put that in the Mixtape Monday. I am going to try and do all of the questions that have been sitting out there. Let's start with Theo James. So Theo James is an actor that I am completely unaware of. He is of Greek and Scottish descent. He is wicked hot, and he's also in a movie with Leonardo DiCaprio's girlfriend. So how about that? Handsome guy, really cute. Now I'm going to have to like watch some of his work just to see what's going on. He's married. He has children. He's married to an Irish actress named Ruth, and Ruth Cotterny. I had to think about her name. It escaped me for a second, but I'm not sure what this reading is going to be on. Someone just said, hey, can you do Theo James? So let's do Theo James. As always, thank you so much for being here. Sorry that I was out all last week, but I was changing gauzes and putting ice on Mr. Puffy, who is still puffy. My poor baby Angus is still puffy at this point. So let's pull up the card view and be sure to like, share, and subscribe to this video, and also to my friend Rick Paul out there. So let's see how Theo James is doing. Stuck in a weird situation. He did just produce an act in something. It looks like he does not like the work that he had put out, but he is stuck in a situation, probably contracted with either something for a movie or contracted for work with like his agent or his manager or something like that. It's something that he wants to get out of because it's costing him too much money. Getting into, it's not that he's not making enough money. It's he's not getting enough return on his investment. It's money poorly spent is the issue here. So, I just don't think that this agent or manager is actually doing what they're contracted to do. But I think there's somebody in the industry who has a little bit of power. So, what is the best way for him to resolve this? Be sweet. Be sweet. Keep the things hidden. That keep your intent to end the relationship hidden, because there's something about Theo James. So I guess this is the Greek side of him because it's more emotive. Has a hard time not letting his face show what he's feeling. So that's going to be the advice here. Make sure you put your poker face on and have your ducks in a row. The relationship, he's over the relationship now, this business relationship. He's over it now. He's not really concerned about it. He's just going to let it run its course. And I think that that's a good thing, but to make sure that he keeps it sweet, keep it sweet, because somebody else will pick him up. So interesting. Don't know much about that guy. So question about Harry and Meghan's children's welfare. So let's just check in without being too invasive. Check in on these kids. Now, you guys know I've done remote views on them. Not going to do that today, but we are going to do some psychic stuff. So let's check in with Archie. How is Archie doing? Past, present, future. Oh my. So past, a lot of conflict over this child, a lot of drama. Here, Ace of Wands, keeping him under wraps. That's why we don't see this kid. That's why we don't know anything about him. But in the future, we are going to see the truth come out. The shadiness is going to be revealed. That there is no family legacy, that it was part of a work thing. It was just to bring in money. So I am of the opinion that there are children. I do think that they had children. Are they perfectly genetically aligned with both parents? I don't know. Are they tools for success? Probably is what I get. So not being part of the legacy is interesting. Is that the Windsor legacy or the Markle legacy? Which legacy are they not part of? So we're going to do Windsor Mountbatten, Markle here. Oh. Not part of the Windsor Mountbatten legacy. The smokescreen clears for the Markle legacy, creates anxiety, and then we have to try and double back on this. So that's interesting. He's not an asset to the Windsor legacy. He does get cut off, and this is exactly what they expected. This was optimal experience. So that's kind of weird. That's a weird set of cards. It's weird. All right, so let's focus on Lily. Lily. It's my cat's name. I don't like it. Past, present, future. So in the past, we are working with three parties. This is why I think, I get a lot of threes when we're talking about these kids. I think, surrogate, I'm just thinking surrogate. Sorry, guys. you know, or some assistance, some chemistry that's going on there. That's in the past, putting this together. Now there's disappointment. Now we have disappointment. So it's either that this child has not reached the potential that they want. They're disappointed about that potential. They're disappointed about, you know, what has manifested, and it's just not optimal. Moving into the future, we wind up with crafting a new plan of separation. This is separation there. So, ooh, these are not good readings. While we're at it, let's do this. Let's do a real quick turn. Well, actually, we're going to ask this question in a much larger form. So, what is the best course of action for Archie? So if Archie had some agency, what should he do? Queen of Pentacles. Now this is Queen Elizabeth. This is Queen Elizabeth. Find that space between being a commoner and a royal. Start anew with them. They will offer protection. This is, you know, head back to the royal family. He'll still be able to dip in and out, but if he doesn't lean into the royal family, he's going to be totally on the outside. What happens if he's totally on the outside? Strength, it will be a struggle. He's going to have to toil and constantly work and find something that he can do. He's going to have to be a little shiftier and shadier in general. So nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to hustle. Nobody wants to hustle. So let's see what we have here. What is best course for Lily? Best course of action for Lily. That's weird, right? Came up again. So the best course of action, Lily still has to stay under wraps. We should not be seeing her. We should not be hearing anything about her. Again, this is best course of action for optimal outcome for her. You know, keeping that secrecy and that quietness is going to garner her some charity here, some opinion that's good, but she has to remain cloistered. It's almost like she's the Rapunzel of the modern day, that we're just sticking her up in a tower, just asking her just to be quiet. Detachment from the royal family is to her benefit. Going forth and finding her own way is better for her. Dominant energy for her. She is going to have to work to have a regular life, not a star-studded life. She's going to have to work very, very hard to come out of that that limelight, which is, I think, presumably something she doesn't want to do. So, interesting. So, Whoopi Goldberg. This was a little bit of an odd request. Whoopi Goldberg. Now, we all know how outspoken she is about the election, about, you know, Trump specifically. She's very, very vocal about it. Let's just get a look at what's going on with her in general. She is at a standstill right now. Ooh, lots of stuff going on here. So at a standstill at the moment with this Chariot, she can't kind of go forward from where she is. The things that she has been, and to be sure, like this, my YouTube channel, there's a lot of my opinion in this. I have a lot of opinions that come across. On Whoopi Goldberg's show, her opinion is what people are checking in for. It's the Whoopi factor. I loved Whoopi Goldberg. I loved her in Sister Act. I loved her in Ghost. I thought she was amazing in Ghost, not just because she played a psychic, but you know, I do think that she was quite funny in her day. I think as she has evolved and gotten older, she has become more of herself as the character. I loved her when she was dating Ted Danson. I thought that they handled that beautifully. But there was some blowback, and I go back in time, you'll see the blowback. But there's something about this new creation of herself. It's like she became the comedian who just talked about their opinion instead of the comedian who infused their opinion into their work. So she's not as charming and as engaging and as fun. She's too serious. That she's not funny enough. That's not to say like, oh, act like a clown, but the thing that was endearing and that made us made all of us like her is omitted now. Everything's too serious. So I think that we're going to see this change a little bit because the sun is slowly peeking out from behind the clouds. Before, it was a very safe and secure kind of pitch that she was making. But now it's not really working. Under the surface, there's not enough people in that pocket. So the viewership, is it going down? I don't know. I don't have these numbers, but I think the viewership is going down and she really needs to regain some of the audience. Up here, it's just not the sustainable. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. It's just not the sustainable model that it was. So we do need to kind of move off from that. What advice do we have for Whoopi here for this slow glow that we have? And I just dropped sloppy shuffle. So there is a better future. Get all the rage and the angst out with this King of Cups in reverse. Get all of that out. Empty the cup. Start from scratch. Rebuild a new line more in alignment with what you were before. Just a slightly similar alignment. And then we get to do the new beginning with this Fool. We get to redefine ourselves, rebrand ourselves. I hate to say rebrand, but rebrand herself. She gets to kind of remake her career into something that is less, I don't want to say toxic, but less taxing. Having all of this outrage and fuel from that is very, very taxing. So I think, maybe a little change of direction. So there we are. So we're moving on to the next one. If you have more questions, let me know. And likewise, below, let me know what you want to see in next week's reading. I know we're a week off, but let me know right here. I know everybody's putting the requests all over the place. I'm having a little bit of trouble finding them. So I'm just going to say, put the requests in this one. So we'll have them. Let's check in with Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston. I don't know why this was asked. It's like, can you do Jennifer Aniston? Oh, lots of anxiety right now. Having some issues. Does not know where to go. Feels trapped. Oh, so, this is really feeling like she is at the dusk of her career, the twilight of her career, if you will. I don't want to say twilight, but like the dusk. There's some feeling that, she doesn't want to play the mother, the grandmother, the mother of older kids, or the grandmother in some cases. She still very much feels, and this is a very Generation X thing, she still very much feels like the 20-something, the early 30-something, don't we all, until we get out of bed and the Tylenol wears off. So, she's having a bit of trouble deciding where she fits in this Hollywood spectrum now. In terms of being a great actress, is she a Meryl Streep? I don't think that she qualifies herself into that department. I think she, finds herself as an okay. I think she's very tough on herself. But I think she finds herself as an okay actress who, is very youthful and pretty and, having a great time, having a dilemma, not getting married, not getting engaged, not getting engaged. She did have that second marriage break up, which was unfortunate with, I don't know, not Justin Trudeau. His name was Justin something, wasn't it? It was like a French name. I don't know. It was not Justin Trudeau though. That was shocker. So, she feels very, very confined by the direction things are going. She's a bit dysregulated emotionally right now. We have that Knight of Cups, the anxiety card. Knight of Cups is in reverse, and seeing no way out with the Six of Swords here. There's no way out. There's no way to prevent this. While these are represented by the minor arcana, I do feel that this is a much larger thing in terms of this lifetime. I do think that she is very stressed out about the march of time that is going on. So how does she see herself? Let's start there. Sees herself as someone who could still contribute, someone who's still learning her craft, which is great. She has a very academic approach to acting and her business. Others see her as more in the capacity of, I don't want to say writing, but producing. There's absolutely a producer quality here. People want to see her moving behind the camera. Hopes and fears. The hope is that she's going to be able to evolve from the idea. So I think someone has pitched this to her and said, maybe you should just go into production. Maybe you should go into direction. Maybe you should really take up that mantle. And I think she's like, I don't know. Hopefully I'll be able to grow into that. Ultimately, I don't think that she really wants to do production or direction. I don't think she wants to do it. I think it's not something, there's too much business involved in it and not enough emotion that's involved in it. So, like, I almost want to say, like, producing the film and editing it would scratch a better itch than just financing it and just kind of being in charge of those numbers. So, how did we get her out of this funk? How do we get her out of this funk? What do we do? What do we do? Where's our yellow brick road for Jennifer? Where is our yellow brick road? So, Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a writer, speaker. So there's our happy sun, happy sun. So I do think that there's something about actually writing, whether this is a memoir or, a fiction piece or how to survive Hollywood. How to survive a Hollywood divorce. Whatever she's going right. It actually feels much more fiction-y. It feels much more like a memoir with it's elaborated upon or something like that. This is going to take her from being the little bubblegum sweet Jenny Aniston to a much more serious character. It's not to say that she's so frivolous that, like, people don't see her as a serious character at all. But they will see her as a bit more of a serious character after they read this. There's something about bringing out, like, warts and all kind of image. Now, is this coming from the whole Matthew Perry, from losing Matthew Perry? I think it is. I think there's some transition that's going to happen because and this happens when we lose someone. We will go through a transition of sorts and it will affect our personality. So with every gain, we change our personality. With every loss, we change our personality as well. So there's something about that loss that she is going to try and write. There is much resistance to it. But ultimately, I do think that she should do this. She should work on it quietly behind the scenes and then have it come out. Now, I'm not saying like, blast anybody and let anybody, put everybody under a microscope. There is a whole thing about people possibly being questioned or arrested for the situation that went on with Matthew Perry. So that perhaps is what's going on. She may, tell us more about what happened with that situation. So moving on, we can always look at more of that. If you want to hear more on that, just hit me up and make a comment below. So let's talk about Harry's visa. So over the weekend, there was an assassination attempt on President Trump, former President Trump. Harry and Meghan allegedly are panicking about the election because they are afraid that if Trump gets in, he will live up to his promise, which he said that, Harry's going to be out on his ear. What is going on with his visa? And I will tell you, intuitively, I keep getting that he's not really here on a visa. Like there's no formality. I think he swooped into the country, and I think he is very similar to some of the illegals we have. So is Harry right now what we would consider an undocumented or illegal resident? Yes, he is. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. I think he just walked into this country for a new start without any protection. So there, we've got that to start with. So we've got the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So what is going on with his, we'll say, visa, his stay here? What is going on with that? He's got a lot of emotions about it because he doesn't know which way he should go. He's pretty sure it's anxiety all day long. He's pretty sure they're going to kick him out. This was a warm and fuzzy place for him to be during the pandemic or, peri-pandemic. His time in the United States is over. It is over. Now, I know a lot of my viewers in England don't want him back. We don't want him either. So we are unfortunately going to be sending him back your way. I'm not doing any speculation on whether he's coming back alone or with anyone. But let's see. How does he see himself? He sees himself between two places. He is not really assimilated here. He doesn't have a home in England. He doesn't have a home in the United States. He does not feel at home. How others see him are he's riding the wings of fate. He is just tra-la-laing through life, and whatever happens, happens. Like, I think not only Harry, but I think a lot of people in his, immediate view are like, what's going to go wrong with this guy? Like, nothing can go wrong with him. He's a prince of the realm. What's going to go wrong? Hopes and fears. The fear is that there is a retribution from certain people that may or may not be elected back into the presidency. That is what he's fearful of, the retribution, because I don't think that he expects if President 45 becomes President 47, that he is going to be kind and show him to the door nicely. I think he's going to be like, you're fired. You're getting out. So outcome here, we already have the World card. We've got the Knight of Wands. We're going to have to move quickly. So, yeah, I mean, this is the situation. He's really afraid that he's going to have to lickety split. Now, I don't think that there's a visa per se. It's not like a visa you and I would have to get. It's just not that kind of a thing. It's really, he just kind of rolled into this country on a private jet. He just showed up here. He basically ran across the border. So that's, in my opinion, that's my personal opinion, my personal psychic opinion for entertainment purposes only. Haven't been saying that, and I don't have my ticker on my channel anymore, but so what does he need to do? Best case scenario. Action. He needs to start speaking up about going home. He's got to start doing that. He's got to cut ties with here, lickety split, get out of Dodge. We got to go. There he goes. Knight of Pentacles. It's where he belongs. He has nothing to produce. He's just not a producer. He's not creative. He's not interesting. He doesn't have anything of value to bring anywhere. So the way that he gets stability is by taking action, cutting loose, going home. It's going to hurt. He's going to have to fall on the sword all day long. He's going to have to apologize, but he's got to do it quick because he's going to get stuck otherwise. He's going to get stuck in a situation that he doesn't want to get stuck in. So if this is a question of whether his visa is going to be good or not, his visa doesn't even exist. So I think, you know, in that first week, if President 45 becomes President 47, I think in that first week, we're going to see a lot of things happen. So we're going to switch gears to the other half of this dynamic duo. And again, Mixtape Monday, please put your requests down below and I will get them next week. I will make a heart next to your comment after I add it to the Mixtape Monday. And I think I am going to record these during the week too. I think I'm going to have like an open recording and just keep adding to it as the week goes on. So ask away, ask away. So this kicks it way back a little bit. So did Meghan marry Trevor Engelson for money or for her career? Did she marry him for money? No. Did she marry him for her career? No emotion about that. Did she love him? She saw a future with him, but she saw him as a starter husband. He was a starter husband. So what was the goal with said starter husband? There's our King of Cups. Oh boy. Okay. There's the divorce. That's the divorce there, guys. Let me see that. So does she regret that? I think there's a little bit of regret there. I don't think Trevor really lit the world on fire by himself. No offense. I mean, I'm sure he's a really nice guy and I'm sure he's a hard worker. But you know, from the accounts that we heard, he was kind of like a dude's dude, like, you know, basically like wanted to hang out on the couch and get stoned and just chill out. She was like, oh, you always was a little sloppy and unpressed when we went places, but now she's sloppy and unpressed. So I think this was an excess of emotion. I think this was really thrilling to get married for the first question mark or second time, and have like the splashy event and have the friends there. I know when I got married the first time I was 27 and I really did feel like somebody dealt me the old maid card. One of my aunts actually said that, who dealt you the old maid card? And I was in a little bit of a panic to get married. You know, it was concerning. My father had said something to me, your clock is ticking. I was like, I guess you're right. So, you know, there is something here about being overly excited about the happy ending and then getting stuck there and realizing that it was a poor choice, that we made that choice out of passion, out of excitement. Did we look at the longevity of the relationship? Not necessarily. Did we look at the common values and common goals? Not exactly. Which is really unfortunate because, you know, love starts out as a chemical reaction for procreation of the species, and then it turns into something much more long-term, but that's the mental part of it that kicks in. So, you know, does she regret this? Yeah, I think she does. I think she does regret it. I think she regrets not, I think she knows that this was a good and easy guy, but she was so histrionic that she like made much of some of his immaturities, you know, being a little bit lazy, not being pressed. You know, you can wash a shirt, but you can't really correct someone's entire personality. And I think his personality was just fine. I think the track he was on was just fine. But I think it was, kind of these negligible things. She didn't weigh her choices with him. She didn't say, well, this isn't that bad. Like, I could put up with this. I could press his shirt myself. She didn't kind of problem solve through that. So that's what I think. Yeah. Yeah. Married for a heavy like, but not necessarily. It was like a heavy like, and he was a good fit. Was it for access to high society or rich people? Was it access? No, I don't think he had any better access than she did. Now he is married to, I believe, a billionaire. I believe she's a billionaire. She'll probably try and get back together. I'm sorry. Okay, so access to rich people? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there was definitely a culture that he was hanging around his family. I believe her family liked him. Her family liked, wait, I believe the Engelsons liked her. I'm not sure. I think I heard that. I know that Corey, one of their families did not like her and was just like, okay, bye. I don't know if that was Trevor's family. So there was something about access to the people, like the country club set that they were part of. So whatever, Did she mean for better or for worse when she married Harry? Did she mean it? Did she mean it? Did she mean it? Was she willing to take anything with Harry? Not necessarily. She did not necessarily. Yeah, that was. So in her estimation, marrying Harry, everything was going to be good. There wasn't going to be any bad days. They were going to have money can solve everything. Money can solve everything. So that was the plan, was that money was going to solve everything. And if some bad times came along, then we would, just kind of do our own thing and like get the hell out of there and not really deal with it. And, it would be dysregulated. Down here is interesting because it's the Three of Pentacles, which indicates three people. So did she mean for better or for worse at the wedding? I think that there's somebody behind the scenes, some BFF, Marcus, that is somebody that she confides in at all times. And I think she thought becoming a duchess that she would be able to maintain this kind of courtier on her own. Up here, yeah, she didn't see this through. Very, very immature kind of thinking when she married Trevor and also when she married Harry. The mindset that I'm getting is much of the fanfare and the excitement. So I know she didn't marry Trevor right away, but she did marry Harry pretty quickly. And so it's that fanfare. Like the minute the fanfare stops is when things got really hairy, when it became real life and not pageantry. I think that's kind of the same thing with Trevor as well, so that's unfortunate. Did she mean for better or for worse? Not really, because she's not really thinking like that. So the promises made on that day, which is something very interesting. I just realized this the other day. Somebody did a video and they used the names Harry and Meghan in the wedding ceremony, despite the Queen wanting them to use their proper names of Rachel and Henry. So there's some question about whether or not that marriage is a legitimate marriage in the eyes of the Church of England. So very interesting. Will she remarry if they divorce for love or money? Will she remarry? Will she remarry? Yes, she will be looking for that. Will it be for love? No. Will it be for money? It'll be to get out of that poverty mindset. So will it be for the same reasons that we see now, like this excitement? It'll be for, so this will be her Ari Onassis. She'll find someone that can protect her, can offer her the protection. Not that like Jackie did that, but when Jackie Kennedy married Ari Onassis, there was a lot of thought put into it because she did need a certain amount of protection for herself and her children. Things were very different then. And Ari was someone who could do something like that for her. So yes, it'll be someone who can offer some kind of sanctity, some kind of protection. For money, she's going to be locked out of money. So it has to be that, it'll be prenup. So it has to be somebody who she can at least tolerate and make it work. So, she's not going to just marry some old guy. Something about children. Yeah, she'll want something that is cooperative, someone that she can tolerate. She still won't learn the lessons from her past relationships. She'll be fortunate. Maybe she'll find somebody who's going to be a strong player for her. But ultimately, it's going to be the same. That inevitability with the death card is not necessarily change here, but inevitability. All right. So that's what we got. So last question for this week's Mixtape Monday. Who will get the children? I'm going to put Harry, Meghan, and the crown. Okay. So we're going to have 4 rows of Harry. Let's see what. Will Harry get the kids? Nope. Doesn't want them. Well, Meghan. That is her safety net. So perhaps the king, eventually the king gets them. Now, any third parties that are involved, any third parties will do 1, 2. Child number 1, any third parties that may be involved. I think there's going to be stuff going on behind the scenes. Child number 2, I think the courts get involved. I think the courts have a conversation about that. So very interesting. Very interesting. So my friends, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. No, children don't want to watch these videos, but thank you so much for being here again. Thank you for excusing my absence while I was recording the first of my digital classes. I will have more up there. We're going to have some exciting stuff in the fall. I think I'm going to do intentional cooking and intentional beverages. So let me know what you think of that. And if you are interested, there will be a link to the school. You can go check it out. There's a free tarot course up. You can take that. But I don't have the 101 class quite ready yet. So you're going to have to wait a little bit for that. But you can learn a thing or two about tarot in the free class. So I'll put the link in there as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I will see you this week a lot because it is the RNC. And I am going to be paying attention to that. So I will see you guys soon. I hope you have a great day. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Book a reading for yourself if you need one, or take my class. Poolside, you can take it. Just learn at your own pace. And there's a beautiful workbook that I put in there. I'm going to do a journal. I'm working on the journal today. I'm going to drop that in there as well. So once you buy the class, you have lifetime access. So you can go in there, you can go hang out. You can, if I add more videos, if I change the videos, you're going to get access to them. So it's a really cool platform. There's quizzes, there's exams. You get a certificate at the end of it. So I think it came out really great, and I hope you guys think so too. So I will see you all soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.